Today, I'm going to tell you a little story about a house that I loaned money on that got hit by a tornado. Yeah, we're in Oklahoma, so we have tornadoes, and insurance had lapsed, and I'd loaned $165,000 on it. So I want to tell you about this tornado house story. Hey, if you're interested in hard money lending business and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button so we can notify you anytime there's a new episode coming out. Thank you. Hey, my name's Rodney Miller. I own Hard Money Partner here in Oklahoma City. We operate in Oklahoma City. We loan all of Oklahoma and the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro. I've been loaning money for about 5 years now, and I like to talk about hard money and things I've experienced and lessons I've learned. So if you're interested in the hard money lending business, you've come to the right place. So today I want to tell a story about something that might cost me a lot of money. I'm not sure. The verdict is still out. We're still working on. The dust is still settling. And unfortunately, when things go bad sometimes, they just take a long time to work out. And you're just kind of left. You just have to be patient on these deals. This is kind of part of the business, you know. It's not all shits and giggles. There's some real exposure to loss, even when you take all the right precautions. And we're going to go over some of the precautions we took and how we might even lose money. We probably will lose some money on this deal, but it won't be a total loss. I think we hedged our bets pretty good on our total loss. So let's get into the details, because I find this kind of interesting. Now I can kind of step back. I was a little emotional about it in the beginning because, you know, a lot of things happened that really pissed me off, and it made me nervous about, you know, my loan position on this deal and how much money was I going to lose. But things are starting to kind of, dust is settling and things are starting to work out in my favor a little bit, I think. So I'll go through this and kind of let you know kind of what happened. So here's the story. So I found this guy that wanted to borrow some money, a fix and flip loan, and he found a house. It was on 5 acres just outside of Oklahoma City. Really good area, really hot little area. So I was really happy to make the loan. I think it was a house built in the 90s or something. He was going to add on a couple rooms to it, or a garage, and just update it and everything. So it was a kind of a slam dunk deal. This is April of 2022, and this is still going on. So, you know, some of these things take a while to hash out. But April 2022, we made him this loan. We loaned him $165,000. He already owned the house. This is just money he was pulling out of the house. We got a first mortgage position, and he was going to use that money to put back into the house to add on a garage to it and some rooms, and just make it bigger and nicer. And so we had an ARV really conservatively at about $450,000. So we loaned $165,000. So that's a 37% after repaired value. So we felt really good about this loan and making this loan. The guy had an oil and gas, some kind of servicing trucking company that serviced oil and gas companies, made some pretty decent money, and was able to pay cash for the house. So we felt he was in pretty good position. If I would have done another thing, I didn't do this. I gave him the 165. It's such a good loan to value, but normally I would take that 165, put it in escrow, and make him put it back into the property. And we put him on construction draws, but it was like an hour from me, and I didn't want to screw with having to go out there or send anybody out there to look at it. So I figured it was such a good ARV of 37%. We didn't really need to screw with construction draws. I just gave him the 165, and he went to work on it. He did a pretty good job. So nice house on 5 acres, hot area just out of OKC. Adding properties is a husband and wife team. They hadn't been married very long, but as a husband and wife, they both personally signed on the note. So I had personal guarantees from them. Everything he had a good job. Everything seemed good on the surface, making payments on time. Everything's moving along until February of 2023. We had an F4 tornado tear through the Oklahoma City Metro, and it went right through the middle of this freaking house. I mean, literally went through the middle of it. I'll have Ian post up some pictures before and after. But tornado went right through the middle of this house, just took out the living room, the kitchen. All that hard work he put into it was gone. And so, you know, I got the call, and, you know, first thing I thought was no problem. We always have insurance on these things, and we're always the loss payee on the insurance policy. So we make sure at closing they have an insurance policy, and that we are the loss payee on there. And what that means basically is that if there's damage to the property or anything happens, we get paid as the lender, we get made whole. And then if there's anything left over, I guess the borrower gets money. But as the loss payee, the insurance company's duty is to notify us when the borrower stops making payments on their insurance policy, because we can step in and do forced place insurance and put insurance on that property. So we're listed on the policy is with equitable interest and is a loss payee. So if the borrower stops paying, they will let us know so we can put a policy on there. It happens all the time. That's just part of hard money lending. So we're protected. Well, they didn't do that. They let it lapse and they did not notify us. For one reason or the other, we found out that there was no insurance on the property because the borrower let it lapse. And so that's a game changer right there. That's when you just start puckering up a little bit. You realize that you got $165,000 in a property that is really kind of half a property now and probably is not worth anything near what it was worth when you made that loan. So that's when the shit got real, man. I got a little freaked out over that. So, hey, I want to stop and ask you a question. Have you ever had a nightmare lending scenario where you lost money? Tell me about it in the comments below. But the borrower assured me he would make it right. You know, he felt bad and all this or whatever. And he had money and he would keep making the payments and he would just get in there and just fix up the damage and just get it repaired and everything. And so, you know, at that point, there's not much you can do. So just hope for the best. Hope that he'll do what he says he's going to do. And he did. For a little while. He started making payments again. And then, you know, the payments started coming in a little late and then a little bit later. And then he just finally stopped making payments of May of 2023 and just went dark on us. He just stopped making payments. We couldn't get a hold of him. He just went dark. So we were left with having to put him in foreclosure or put him in default status. So we put him in default status. And we didn't really want to pursue foreclosure on that. We didn't want to drag this out any longer. We wanted to do a workout with him and figure out how we could make something work. And so we just started trying to find the guy, and he was hiding pretty good. He went into hiding. He had some kind of a trucking company, but we couldn't find him and couldn't locate him. We found out that him and his wife had separated and they hadn't been married that long, but they separated. And so we knew that, you know, he was probably going some tough financial times, you know, oil and gas is up and down and stuff like that. So we did finally reach out to her on Facebook and we found her, and I guess we scared her because then we finally got him interested. It took several months of us chasing him and, you know, flirting with lawyers and, you know, setting up the foreclosure process. We were getting ready to pull the trigger on it, but we really didn't want to. Anyway, finally he reached out to us and, we skip traced. I forgot. We found it. I hired a skip tracer, found him, found her, sent them both notices. And then when they got the letters, he called me up and just, you know, basically told me he didn't really have anything and we weren't going to get anything out of him. And so I did what a lot of times we do. And I did a, deed in lieu of foreclosure. I let him deed the property back to me. And, basically the way it works is you own the property now. Now I own, you know, he deeded it to me. I tried to get him to deed it to me and keep, you know, liability on the deal. Like, keep some kind of recourse. Like if I didn't get all my money back, he had to pay me the difference, but he would not agree to that. And so for expediency and to get this thing off my plate, I just went ahead and relieved him of all liability on the deal. I felt sorry for the guy, and then I just want to get this thing moving. So deed in lieu of foreclosure, him and the wife both signed it, and I took back over the property. So now I have a deed to a property. Oh, he also had 3 other acres that he had purchased that I made him give me. So now I have 8 acres. I got a deed to the property. It's a house, half a house on 8 acres. And now his balance is around $200,000 that I'm owed on this house on 8 acres. And so I'm not feeling very good about this. I'm wondering if I'm going to get 100 back for the land, you know, trying to figure out what I should do. Should I pay to remove the house? That'll be 20, 30, 40 grand. Because it's the land is just a mess. Shit everywhere. Stuff in the trees. It's still from the tornado, you know, trashed out cars that rolled and were laying across the land and stuff like that. So I didn't know if I want to pay more money into this thing or I just want to cut my losses and get rid of the sucker. So I just got a buddy of mine. He's a realtor. And I just said, what do you think? And we got really lucky. We went out there and looked at it. And there are 3 new houses going up on that street because it's pretty good, you know, 2-3 acre lots. And when I first made the loan, there was nothing out there. Well, now there's 2 or 3 new build houses, really nice, modern new build houses out there. And I just freaking got lucky. People started building. And so that made me feel kind of good because there was a good market there for a newer house. So hired my buddy, just told him to post it up and, you know, list it on the MLS. We listed it for $195 as is. We got some builders interested in it. And I actually have a builder that put it under contract. I think we agreed on $175,000, and we are currently under contract on this deal for 175, which means if things go really good after my realtor buddy, I'm going to get my money back. I will not have made any interest or any points or fees or anything like that on the deal, but I'll be happy to get most of my money back. Even if I take a small loss, I'll be happy to get some money back. So the guy's got 30-day due diligence. He's going through it with his contractors. He thinks that he's going to rebuild the house. There's enough left there to rebuild, and then just take it as is and rebuild it. So I'm hoping that deal goes down, because if it doesn't, we got to relist it. We might have to come down on our price. But as it stands, we have it sold for 175. So a couple other points here. The first point, the lesson is, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you protect yourself, sometimes you're going to get in situations where you're going to lose money. Shit just happens. This was a really weird deal, but stuff happens, and you can take all the precautions, but there's still risk involved. So that's a big lesson that I learned on this. I want to pass on to you guys. This is just part of the business. You're going to get some heartburn on some of these deals. They're not all good, but for every 30, 40, 50 deals I do, I'll get one of these deals. That's kind of a pain in the ass headache, where I could lose some money. Hopefully not. Hopefully I underwrote it right and I won't, but I'm just kind of learning as I go. Cause I'm not, I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years, but I'm learning as I go. That's just part of the business. You're going to have some headaches. You just got to learn to deal with them. Don't get emotional. Just let things take their course and try to recoup your losses. If you have any, try to keep them at a minimum. The last thing that might save my ass on this deal is that, remember the insurance company that did not notify me? Well, I've got some friends and they're pretty good attorneys. One's a bad faith insurance attorney, and he claims that they had a duty to notify me since I was the, what do you call it? I had a financial interest in the property, and I was on the policy, and they failed to notify me. So if I do sell this and I do come up short 30, 40, 50, 100 grand or whatever it is, he tells me I have recourse and that we can go after the insurance company on a contingency basis and make them pay me for that loss. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if it's worth it. If I'm out 20 grand, do I really want to go to that trouble of going after an insurance company? I don't know if that's something I want to take on or not. But anyway, I thought you might find this interesting. This was a deal gone bad. I could lose 20 grand. I could lose nothing. I could lose 100 grand. We'll find out. I'll keep you posted on it and let you know how things turn out. Hey, thanks for watching. Got a ton of free stuff down below. If you're a borrower, we got borrower free reports. If you want to learn how to flip a house, we've got a house flipping report. We've got a how to guarantee you a hard money loan. If you'll print out that report or read through it, it'll tell you exactly what you need to do to guarantee yourself a hard money loan from us or any other lender. If you are a investor and you want to invest in these deals with us, we pay 10% to our investors. Really safe investments. We keep our loan to value really low and make these really safe for you. But if you're happy with the 10% return paid monthly, you go down below, hit us up, look at our free co-investor brochure, explains how our program works. And then you can reach out to me directly and I'll be happy to talk to you about our program. Hey, if you enjoyed this content, you might want to watch another video I have. It's this couple bought my non-performing note and turned it into profit. Another way you can get out of some of these hairy deals selling your notes. Please like and subscribe. Rodney Miller, Hard Money Partner. Thanks for watching.